Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to my press conference. Shorty's a little bit under the weather and apologies for a fairly late press conference. I'll be doing it almost immediately before the teams come out by the time this gets uploaded. So press conference quickly followed by a weekend preview. So I do apologise, but just probably towards the end of the year, I've probably slackened off a little bit with my punctuality in terms of press conference. But nonetheless, this is how I went. Just a solid week. Let's bring us back to the home page so you can see some rankings. But 2,487. Obviously, probably par. I reckon 2,500 is about par for the week from what I saw. But you could probably argue it was closer to a bogey. I think there were some teams that went really, really big. I wasn't one of them. Didn't have enough top-end scores, as you'll see, but still managed to win a reasonable amount of my leagues, and I'll look at all 5 Shorty leagues in a minute. But as we go back to my team, and it was the first week we had with 22 genuine premiums, and it fired reasonably well, but there were just a couple of strugglers, mainly this back line. Lloyd wasn't right up there. Hearn was just okay. Sicily was a letdown. Stewart responded, but still a bit average. Williams been great through the midfield. Laird was really good as the Crows bounced back. McRae's just flying. He's absolutely dominating. And that little bet that I had with McRae and Lloyd, it looks like I may be doing some sort of a dare, but we'll see how we go. Fife extremely good against the Cats. Oliver solid. Neil had a bit of a tension. Cripps was down. He's been a bit up and down. The 2 Crows, Crouch responded. He was really good, but Sloan was just so-so. A bit of a tension from Steele, so you probably take that. And Merritt's been a good trade in. I took Gawn's 134. I was happy with that. I was umming and ahhing about going with Grundy. In the end, it turned out to be a good decision. Dangerfield had a shocker, particularly that second half. Boak was solid. Billings I thought was reasonable as the Saints went down. Heaney's been in some really good form. Kelly was one of the Cats' better players, and Dunkley was solid without being great. And I obviously used Gardner there as the loophole. But so that's how things went for me this week. I think what was I going to do? What have we got? I think I'll probably VC Lockie Neal. We've seen some big scores against the Suns, and I think Neal could really cash in terms of who I'd put him into. Obviously, Gawn and Grundy play each other, so I think they'll probably score well, but the potential for 150s probably looks unlikely. So that means we're going to have to look elsewhere, and probably, you could mount a good case for McRae or Bontempelli if you have him. I'm probably going to err towards Dangerfield bouncing back, but I'm probably going to have to just think about that one. Fife, Steele will probably go to him. Cripps on the Sunday, but he's been a little up and down, so we'll see how we go, but no trades required. Obviously, I've got the 2 sitting there. I'm happy to see what happens when the teams come out, but at this stage I'll just be sitting pretty, hopefully not having to do anything. If you're in any of my leagues, let's see how you're tracking. You can see how we're going there. This is the very first Shorty SuperCoach league, I think. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, so the first one, you can take a look at how you went. I just got home against Patrick there, elimination final, pretty close one. So I advanced there. If you're in the bottom half one, which, as you can see, even though it's the bottom half finals, there's still some really good scores. 2,500, 2,500, there's 3 scores above 2,500. So it's a bottom 8, but it's still pretty strong. Qualifying final here, I managed to get through over Ben in another close one. There were some close games across the board, but as you can see, some really good scores from everyone. 2,600 in there, pretty impressive. Some good scores. Moving on. Here I was in another elimination final and just snuck home once again over Corey. he'll get a second chance, obviously. But that one even tighter, just 22 points in it, in a pretty strong league, as all the Shorty leagues are. Couple maybe dropping off in the bottom there, a couple of 2100s and a couple of scores that maybe suggest they may have dropped off a touch or the trades have run out. And I got knocked over here by a big score. Really good score there, 2,650. That's really impressive. Not a super strong top 8 there, not as many 2,500s, but certainly the fella I played showed exactly why he finished on top and went bang. I'll be looking to redeem myself there. And again, some solid scores, but also a couple that maybe people have just dropped off. And here I think I went down again and comprehensively, well outplayed there. 2,600 just doing the job on me pretty nicely there. So, hopefully you get a chance to see how you're going. And if you are in one of these leagues, hopefully you're still going hard and doing your research, or at least paying attention, because I know it's easy to drop off, but there's a lot of people who wanted to be in these leagues, so hopefully you're doing it justice, and hopefully you're going reasonably well. But that's how it's sort of panning out for me. As I was saying, don't know what I did there, but we'll have a weekend preview pretty shortly. There's really not much I can say about that unless the teams bob up with something curly, but I'll be hoping that doesn't happen. So I'll upload this one, and then the teams will probably be out soon. I'm probably going to jump in the gym, I reckon, try and sweat out this cold a little bit, but we'll see how we go. But I'll be back pretty soon, so hopefully you had a good week, and hopefully a week coming up, which is far closer, is also impressive for you. So I'll catch you soon. Cheers.